August 14, 1945 Tokyo, Imperial Palace. The corridors are quiet in a way they have never been before. Emperor Hirohito sits alone, his small frame swallowed by the vastness of the room. Outside, the capital is scarred by firebombing, its neighborhoods reduced to ash. Inside, the weight of centuries presses down on one man who has never before spoken directly to his people. On the table before him lies a single sheet of paper. The language is careful, formal, ancient. Yet the meaning is unmistakable. Japan will surrender. For nearly 4 years, the empire has fought a war it promised would bring glory and destiny. Instead, it has delivered ruin. By the summer of 1945, Japan's cities burn one by one under American air raids. The navy is shattered. The army is scattered across Asia. Food is scarce. Children train with bamboo spears. Still, many generals insist the war must continue. To surrender, they argue, would be worse than annihilation. Then came August 6. Hiroshima vanished in a single flash. 3 days later, Nagasaki followed. And on August 9, the unthinkable happened again. The Soviet Union, once neutral, declared war and poured into Japanese-held Manchuria. The last diplomatic hope collapsed overnight. Japan now faced destruction from air, sea, and land with no allies left and no shield remaining. In underground chambers, the Supreme War Council argued into the night. Half demanded surrender. Half demanded one final battle, a decisive, suicidal defense of the home islands that could kill millions of civilians and soldiers alike. The deadlock was absolute. It was then that Hirohito broke centuries of tradition. In the early hours of August 10, the emperor spoke not as a divine symbol, but as a man. He told his ministers the war must end. He cited a new and most cruel bomb, one that threatened not only Japan's survival, but the extinction of human civilization itself. For him, continuing the war was no longer an act of honor. It was an act of collective suicide. Yet even this decision was not safe. On the night of August 14, as Hirohito recorded his surrender message, young officers attempted a coup. They stormed the palace, searching desperately for the recording. If they destroyed it, the war could continue. Guards were confronted. Corridors echoed with boots and gunfire. For hours, Japan stood on the edge of chaos, not from foreign enemies, but from its own sons. The recording survived. At noon on August 15, 1945, radios crackled across the nation. Families gathered, unsure what they were about to hear. For the first time in history, the Japanese people heard the voice of their emperor. Hirohito did not say the word surrender. He spoke of endurance. Of bearing the unbearable. Of laying down arms for the future of the nation. Many wept. Some collapsed. Others sat in silence, unable to comprehend that the war and the world they had known was over. That single order prevented an invasion that could have killed millions. It spared Japan from becoming a battlefield of total annihilation. It ended an era defined by militarism and divine rule, and began one shaped by survival, rebuilding, and reckoning. Hirohito would live another 44 years. But no decision he ever made would carry the weight of that night when one order, spoken softly, stopped a nation from destroying itself. Not with victory, but with restraint.